So, a couple of things to say about these. I'll put acids on the left and bases on the right. So, an acid is going to have a pH from 0 to just under 7. Bases are going to have a pH from just over 7 to 14. Remember that 7 is neutral. Remember that acids will often begin with H, bases will often end in OH. Remember that both can actually contain hydrogen for that reason. Some examples of, first of all, bases are going to feel kind of slippery. They're going to taste bitter. Now, you should not touch every base and you should not taste every base, but those that you can are going to have those qualities. Looking at acids. Acids are going to taste sour. So remember that lemon juice is an example of an acid. Milk is also slightly acidic. Looking over at bases, some examples of those. First of all, ammonia. Window cleaner has a very pungent odor. That is going to be an example of a base. And then baking soda and also soap. Those are all going to be examples of bases. Looking down here, number 20. Why do we use prefixes for naming covalent bonds but not ionic bonds? Very important reason. Let's say, for example, I have sodium combining with oxygen. If I have these two elements in an ionic bond coming together, there is only one way they can come together. We take the oxidation numbers. Remember that metals have an oxidation number that's the same as their number of valence electrons. Sodium is in group 1, so it has a positive 1 oxidation number. Oxygen is a nonmetal. For nonmetals, you look at how many valence electrons they have and how many more they need to have an octet. Oxygen has 6, it needs 2 more. Because it needs 2 more electrons, and because electrons have a negative charge, we place a -2 there. To get the chemical formula, we crisscross those numbers, and that gives us the formula. So we have Na2O, and we don't have to write the 1, but there it is. So sodium oxide, that is the only way it can actually come together and bond. That is the only way. For something like a covalent bond, though, on the other hand, we could actually have 2 different ways. We could have carbon monoxide. This has 1 carbon, 1 oxygen. Remember, you don't start with mono, so you would not say monocarbon monoxide. It's just carbon monoxide. The second thing we could do with these 2 same elements is we can have CO2. So because we can actually have carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, that's why we use prefixes for covalent bonds. We don't have to use them for ionic because that is the only way that ionic bond can form. I cannot have any other formula for sodium oxide. I can have different formulas for nonmetals that bond with each other, but when a metal bonds with a nonmetal, that's the only way they can come together. And that is the end. If you have questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Please study for your test.